Hello and welcome to my channel. It's Tea with Teresa H Creates and it is sheet load of cards time. This is the April 2025 sketch and supply list. You can get this list over at Alicia's channel. It is Call Me Crafty Owl. She puts this out every month, at the beginning of every month. And she's got a wonderful group that creates cards and gives you lots of inspiration. I was inspired by this card, but my cards this month do not match this. So I am doing Alice in April. It's all Alice in Wonderland themes. And so I pulled some items out of my scraps, my little Alice stash, to go ahead and make some cards. And this has truly been picked apart. So I used Couture Creations. This is Enchanted Tea Party. There aren't a lot of full-size pages left in this. That is it. And then there's this bag of scraps here, along with a 6x6 that also has a few pages in it. So I didn't have, a ton to work with, but I decided I wanted to use up some scraps. Now, while the sheet load this year, this month yields 12 cards, I'm only making 10 because I just cut here and there and made my cards. So I'm going to set that aside and show you what I've got. I have my card bases that I made from my Nina Solar White cardstock. That is what I use. And she used colored cardstock to make her bases, and I did not. So I did go ahead and cut down some blue card fronts. And then the sketch, let me put it to the side here so you can kind of see. Then the sketch calls for this little panel to go across. So I did cut down these little guys here. There are a few different ones in there. And I'll use those. And then for this strip that goes across here, I have a few of those as well. I have some that have this teapot and teacup with the magnolias. I don't know if those are magnolias. Are they dogwood? I think they're dogwood. So I do have some of those. And then I have some of these that actually have a sentiment on it that say, "Don't be late." So I think I have 4 of these "Don't be late" sentiments. All right. I'm actually going to put the cards together with you on camera this time. It's a little bit different, right? Just because I kind of piecemealed this together. Now, this collection did have some cut aparts. And so instead of making tags like they have here, I went ahead and decided to use the cut aparts. So there is always time for tea. Would you like an adventure now, or shall we have our tea first, Alice? And these actually look like little playing cards. It's so cute. Every story has a moral, if only you can find it. There is a place like no place on earth, and a land full of enchantment, wonder, and mystery. Sometimes I have dreamed as many as 6 impossible things before breakfast. I love that quote. And then there's the adventure, but I'd like tea first. And then the others that were in that collection were just images. So I have 2 of the images on repeat, and then I have 2 of the actual sentiments on repeat. Wait a second. This one, right? This one on repeat. Okay. And so that was the difference there. I'm going to use the ones that have solid images with the sentiment layers. So let's go ahead and put one of these together so I can show you what I'm looking at. So I'm thinking here. And then with one of these, I got a little bit creative. And I thought, what if I do like a lacy border punch at the top just to kind of make it a little fun. And then this goes right across the bottom here. And then instead of going under, because I don't want to block off any of that sentiment or anything, I was thinking about just popping it on the top here like this. And then I'll make one that just has the plain border, and we'll decide if we want to go. I'm really thinking I want to go with a little bit of lace border on those, that little trim. Yeah, I just like it better. I like the little bit of lace better. Okay, and then the others, I am going to go ahead and cut those. So I do have my, let me see, this is a Stampin' Up! Little lace border punch. And then for the others, the design is going to look something like this, I think. Okay, so we'll have the image underneath, and then the don't be late across. More like what the card sketch looks like. So I think it looks good. I'm going to go ahead and start assembling these. Hopefully I don't make too much of a mess. I guess this part I could have done in advance, right? Let me set that aside. All right, so you guys have got the idea. I'm going to put the rest of these card fronts onto the card bases, and then I am going to cut the little lace borders on all these, and then I'll be back and we'll finish assembling. All right, I'm almost done with my bases here. I attached the blue card fronts to the cards, and then I attached most of these. Oh, and I did punch out the lace border. I've attached all of these now. And then these I pre-attached because those are going to go over, and these where the cards are going to go under. I'll save those for last because those might be a little bit more tricky. So don't be late. And here are my image cards. I'll push those aside, and then we can start working on these. I think that I kind of want to put them at an angle, and I do need to get some support. I do need to bump those up a little bit, and so I have some blue scrap here that I can use, or do I want to pop it up? I have some of these foam dots. I feel like that would take forever, and I don't know that I want to do that. So let me see. Roughly, get a little bit off of this. And I don't want this bump here. This is what I'm talking about because it's going over all of these layers. I want to avoid that bump. So let's see. About like this. Let's see what it's like with one. I think I'm going to have to do two. Yeah. I'll have to do two. And that one was a little bit wide. Let me trim just a tad bit off of that one. And now let's see. So I'm going to attach one layer to the top. And then a second layer to the top. And then let's see how that works. Oh, much better. There is just a small bit that hangs over the edge on the bottom, so I'm not really worried about it. It's kind of negligible there. It's just a tiny amount. There, so that's nice and flush. And now I don't remember. Now I don't remember what the size was that I cut that. I should go ahead and cut all of my trim about like that. Let's see. Just cut these scrap pieces up. I will need more. This is a good way to use up a lot of your scraps, though, when you're at the end of a project here. Good deal. It feels so much better not having those raised parts there. I might have gone over the edge on that one. I've had a lot of coffee this morning. Sorry, I'm a little bit shaky. Got a little bit anxiety. Too much coffee this morning. On my second cup already. But it's rainy here, and I love being in my craft room and creating and having coffee when it's raining. So It's worth a little bit of the jitters. All right, anything showing? Nothing is showing. Fold that little tape down. Let's see, do I have more scrap? I do. Oops, that was really crooked. Those might be too long. I really enjoyed this card sketch. It was really cute. I did some with tags, I believe, over December, where I took an element and I ended up making tags that slid between the little straps. So I decided, you know, this time I'll do it just a bit different. Because I'm a bit of a rebel. I'm not really. I like to take risks only in my studio. That is the only place I really take a risk. Mostly because I'm pretty confident that any mistakes I make here, I can correct. I can fix it. And there's our first 6. So let's do the next set. Okay, these were a little bit different in that I didn't want to cover up the sentiment part, so I wanted to go ahead and put down this guy first. And this isn't very thin, very thick paper, so it's going to be fine. I'm not going to have to raise that up. I may have to raise up part of the sentiment though on this one. So let's put that down. And then you can see that there. So I will need to bump that up a bit. Let me see if one layer will do it, since it's just that one bit of card. Yep. That was perfect. All right, this exactly goes over this, fits this little panel here, so be a little bit careful. And next, to trim just a tad off of that one. Put this guy, that tape kind of overshooting there. My tape runner. Bump that up. And then this one, I wasn't sure about the placement, if I might raise this a little bit or what. We can see the teapot, we can see the clock. I think that's a good spot for it. I knew going in I was going to cover up some of that image, but I was okay with that. We're going to leave the teapot and the clock exposed. There we go. I don't want this one exactly like the other, so I'm going to put this image on this one. You can see that same image. Match that little strip there. So I'm going to change it up just a bit. All right, don't be late. There, we can see the tops of those mushrooms. Hello, puppy. She was wanting to say hi to everyone. I hope that you guys are encouraged, if you don't already do the sheet load, that you're encouraged to go over to Alicia's channel and get your own copy, because this really does make quick, cute cards. They're always adorable. I always enjoy making the sheet load of cards every month. It's one of my favorite things. Look forward to it at the beginning of every month. And I really do enjoy watching all of the design team members' cards too. I think it's so cool the way everybody gets the same sketch and then the cards just are so different. All unique. All right, that is it. Those are my cards for the sheet load of cards, April 2025 card sketch. I made 10. These are all Alice in Wonderland themed. And I love, love, love the way that those turned out. All right, I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, give me a thumbs up. And if you have any questions for me, leave them down in the comments and I'll be sure to answer. I'll also put a link to Alicia's channel in my description box so that you can go over and grab your own sheet load of cards. Until next time, bye.